Ansley. What's up, Ansley? Welcome to the hub. Ken Stavis. Kenneth Clark was good. Lamar Franklin, I see you. Michael Connor is in the building. Let me see. Michael says, at least you're being known for innovation. High energy without brass is a tough one. Listen, yes, that was my challenge for the year. Because y'all know, like, my go-to, you say high energy sports, or you just say sports, I'm immediately hopping on brass. That's like the first instrument for me, and then I'll build around that. Yeah, we made it work. So I'm excited about it. Gerald, what's good? Kenneth said, what's up, family? Welcome to the newbies. They were supposed to not change the time here in Cali, but... Oh, Puerto Rico. Okay, that makes sense. That's always weird. Yeah, some members of my team, they're in the Philippines, and I don't think they do daylight savings either. It was like one day, my VA was like scheduling something. She was just like, what? She was like, for some reason, it's like an hour off. I was like, oh yeah. So we do this weird thing here where we switch clocks back and forth every year. I don't know. I feel like if there's a state that doesn't do it, there's other countries that don't do it. I think we should just get rid of it altogether. Let's just get rid of daylight savings. It's less confusing for everybody. What do you think of BeatStars publishing? I don't know a lot about it. Let's start there. I'm speaking from a place of semi-ignorance. I don't know. Like, I haven't used it. I don't know the details of it. I don't know what the agreement looks like from a legal perspective. So I can't say a lot about it. But I know for me as a producer that focuses on sync, I would have to be sure it wouldn't get in the way of that. I don't know if it's exclusive or non-exclusive or only exclusive towards whatever you have on BeatStar. I'm just not sure. So I don't have much information for you on that. I just don't think it would work for what I do personally. And then if it's attached to Sony ATV, I absolutely wouldn't do it, because a lot of these sync libraries and stuff that I work with, if they see a major publisher on anything or involved in anything, they're not gonna want to really mess with it too much, because it plays with the negotiation. You get a big dog in there like Sony's like, yeah, we're not taking less than this, and then we're playing that whole game. And yeah, and then they're gonna have to go through them to get stuff cleared. Yeah, if you're a newbie, who would you suggest for sync? DistroKid, as far as collecting royalties. DistroKid will collect like your streaming, mechanicals, sales, digital sales, things like that. Anything you make from social media, you'll get that. That's separate from performance royalties, like what we get as a result of something being synced to picture. So anything that's placed on like TV, film, commercials, ads, video, online media, things like that, you would have to be registered with a performance rights organization or performing rights organization, however you want to say it. That's in the States, CSAC, BMI, ASCAP. There's another one out there. I forget the name of it, but you would have to be registered with them in order to collect your performance royalties from syncs. And as a writer, you can only be registered with one. So I would just do research on those, see which one, fits your needs, and then go from there. And then once you're set up with a PRO, then your next step would be finding music libraries or sync publishers to pitch to. So those are publishers that just specialize in creating music specifically for TV and film. That is going to be the quickest route and who you would need to connect with in order to start getting your music placed in TV, film, video games, and things like that. If you want the steps, I think I have it in the description of this video. It's my free sync producer quick start guide. Download that. That'll give you all the steps, because there's some stuff that I'm sure I just brushed over and made it sound like 2 steps and you're done, but I promise you it's a little bit more than that. But download the free 6-step guide. That will give you all the steps and the nuances of all the things you need to know if you're a newbie getting started in sync. That way you'll be able to avoid a bunch of the mistakes that newbies typically make just because they don't know. Yeah. And then here's a link to that just in case. Miguel dropping fire like he's got the new codes to the football. That's why I haven't been in the live reviews. I just dropped my link and I disappear like a ninja smoke ball. I haven't heard anything, man. Yeah, we gonna see when we start reviewing music. We gonna see what you know, what y'all dropping in there.
You're probably ready to start trying to get TV placements, but you just don't know the next step to take. So I want you to download my free Sync Producer Quick Start Guide, which is going to help you do that. It's going to give you the steps and it's going to give you resources to get you started on this journey. So just go to clintproductions.com/free guide or click the link in the description and download that free Sync Producer Quick Start Guide.
It says, would it be okay to post my Spotify holiday playlist? It includes a Clint track along with other Sync artist tracks. Is it inside Sync Producer Hub? All of our reviews are done inside our membership. If you're in there, absolutely drop it, because at what time is it? Did I say 9? At 10. We're going to do live music reviews. I feel like I said 9 earlier. I don't know. Time's all over the place. I told somebody the other day, my TV Placement Mastery group, that we were meeting on Wednesday. I said tomorrow, Wednesday, and then I really meant Thursday. So I'm like a day behind, I think. So yeah, it's been interesting. So yeah, if you're inside the Sync Producer Hub, drop that. We're going to check it out. And we're going to be reviewing music for 2 hours. So hopefully I'll be able to get through everybody's music in one stream. That would be amazing. No doubt. Zimzada is in the building. She has arrived. What's up, Zim? G5, what are some key terms and concepts in sync licensing that beginners should familiarize themselves with? E.g. master, rights, publishing, cues. Well, yeah, those are absolutely a few of them. So cue is like a term we use to describe music that's specifically made for TV. It could be an instrumental cue. It could be, vocal cue, background vocal, background instrumental. You got two sides that's being cleared in sync. You got the master recording, and then you have the publishing, composition. You have royalties, obviously. You have upfront sync fees. So if there's an upfront sync fee, you would get that around the time that it gets placed, or around the time that, you know, maybe a little bit after the time you actually do the agreement. What are some other terms, man? You mentioned, we talked about master, publishing, split sheets. That's a good one to know. If you got multiple writers, having some type of split sheet, or even if it's electronic split, so that everybody knows what percentage of the song they own, so that when you guys do like a sync deal, everybody knows what's what and who's getting what. And then we typically just split everything according to that percentage. If there's an upfront sync fee, we'll split it according to that percentage. Royalties will be split according to that percentage. So that's important. Work for hire agreements, those are great. So say you want a bass player to play bass on a track that you produced, but you want to retain 100% ownership of that work. Then you have the bass player come through, say, hey, come through a session, I want you to lay bass on this thing. He lays bass, you sign a work for hire agreement saying, hey, I'm going to pay you $100 to lay bass, but you do not have any rights to this song. This is the only money you will see from this session here. So work for hire agreement, those are good to have depending on what you need to do work for hire for. And then on the flip side, you can have a work for hire agreement with a publisher, which is, it could be, usually the work for hire agreements I've done with publishers have been, here's a chunk of money to produce the track, but you won't get any upfront sync fees. However, you'll still get back end royalties. So I've done like work for hire agreements like that, and then you take the $600-700 and then that'll be it as far as upfront, but then you'll get back end royalties forever. So you get that. That could also be phrased as a buyout. Stems, another one, man. Yeah, this is, man, sync. Let's get back to the basics. Let's go. Stems, it can be individual, so all your instruments separated. It can also be groups of tracks, so drums only, guitars only, strings only, brass only, synths, sound effects. Those are stems. Drum and bass, maybe alt versions or mixes. Those can also be referred to as stems. Underscore could be a stem, or aka alt version. So that's that. Perpetual license. Perpetual means forever and ever, never ending. Perpetual. It's good to know. Perpetual, I feel perpetual scares people away sometimes. It is what it is. I at least know if you're signing a perpetual deal, so you don't have unrealistic expectations. But I have some deals with publishers, like anything I send them, it will be in perpetuity. Yep.